But that's great. We're going to draft 2 more guys this year and to play in Austin for 2.5 years and get 5 minutes a game of that last half year. But that's just my worries. Like, I'm not saying I don't want them to stay, or I'm not saying I don't want them traded. I'm just saying, I think we're going to probably wait it out, and the most likely scenario is we're going to wait it out and they're going to walk, which is fine. We're going to have a ton of cap space, but that doesn't mean we're just going to sign some, Giannis, KD, LeBron type free agent. So I'm more worried about, what are we going to do if that kind of backfires right in our face and we don't trade them and we have nothing to show for it.
I like the idea. It's funny you bring that up because I just like the idea of if they do walk and maybe we just kind of keep offering these 1 or 2 year deals to free agents. I like the idea of us, excuse me, always having money like in reserve for our Spurs that we've drafted for when they become eligible for those for their next contracts after the rookie contract. I would always want to be in a position to be able to pay our guys versus you know bringing in a big piece right away and locking us back into the same cap situation that we're already in.
I saw a comment in the chat that ended up saying, um, I want to know what you guys feel about it. I can't find it right now, but what they said was they feel like Lamarcus Aldridge is the most pampered San Antonio Spur
Oh yeah,
that we.
Yeah,
Would you call him pampered?
for LA more than any other Spurs star. It's ridiculous.
that's the truth, man.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that he requested a trade and Pop had that talk, I mean, I never understood that. You look at the situation more in context. Like, he came to the team, he knew his role was going to be a little smaller than it was in Portland, or maybe even more than that. But he was on two of the best teams in franchise history, two 60-plus win teams, arguably a Kawhi Leonard injury away from winning a title. He was still an All-Star, an All-NBA player in 2015-16. He was 13th All-NBA and an All-Star. 2017, he was probably snubbed from the All-Star team, considering we were the second-place team in the league and only had Kawhi. Do you guys think it was just he didn't like Kawhi? I've heard theories that, like, because I've heard they didn't get along, and there's like always, and then there's a theory like if we would have traded Lamarcus back in 2017 for to make room for Paul George, would have Kawhi stayed? I wanted to hear your input on that.
Go ahead, Harrison. I saw that you were ready to.
Yeah, so I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. I think we got him here by telling him, you're going to be the guy, and we want you to lead this team back to glory. And I mean, I'll even admit, our first game with Lamarcus was back in 2016, 2015. That season start 2015, 2016 season. And that first game, we played the Thunder, and I think Kawhi dropped 32 that game. That was his career high at the time. And I remember watching it thinking like, whoa, I didn't know he could do that. Because we'd seen him do well in a couple of playoff games, but until then, he wasn't seen as a superstar. He was just seen as a really, really good role player. And, I mean, he was very close to not winning Finals MVP. People forget that. I mean, a lot of people wanted DL. A lot of people wanted Parker to win it. I mean, it was a toss-up who was going to get it. And
Dan
he had
Green
that
was going to win it in 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Kawhi had like that 129-point game in 2014. I think that's what kind of sealed it. But I didn't know he could be a player that dropped 30 on a nightly basis. And he did it multiple times at the start of that season. And I don't think the coaching office thought that he was going to do that either. They didn't think he was ready for that load. And I think that's why they got Lamarcus, to come in and carry the scoring load. And then you're looking at a guy who's been promised he's going to be the guy who's going to be carrying the load, and he's having to defer to some guy who's, still young and I guess I don't want to say unproven, but I mean, I guess not as vetted as Aldridge was. And I mean, that's tough right there. I know he's getting paid and all that, but I mean, it's kind of like if, you go to your job and you're told you're going to be in charge and all that. And then some kid who's like 16, 17 comes in and starts calling all the shots and they're okay with that because he's doing a good job at it. Like, you want the company to do well and all, but it's tough because you feel like that was supposed to be your place and all that. And then on top of that, Kawhi was just so quiet, at least from what I've heard, is it's very hard to read Kawhi in general, just because he's such a quiet dude. I mean, a lot of players, nobody would say they outright disliked him, but they'd say it was hard to know what he was thinking. And throughout all the drama stuff, they had no clue what was going on because he just wouldn't stay in contact with them. I think that adds to it. So I don't necessarily know if he didn't like Kawhi or he just had no idea where his head was at and felt like his trust had been broken. But at least from what I know, Pop kind of sat down and told him, okay, this is a new direction the team's going to be going. Are you on board? And from what I hear, he was pretty happy that Pop was just upfront with him, and that kind of prompted a re-signing. And then all of a sudden, this Kawhi drama happens. So, like I said, I'm not excusing anything Lamarcus has done, but I do think he was just kind of thrown into a furnace here with drama, all this stuff happening, and not quite going as he expected it. So, that may be why. But I wouldn't say pampered, but I think because of all the irregular stuff that's gone on, Pop has taken extra time out of his days to make sure he's doing all right.
Hey, Rob, your sign is backwards. So that's his sign. Just said follow us.
Can't do nothing
subscribe
right
to our
today,
YouTube
man.
channel. OOC Spurs. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram up. I mean, we hope you guys enjoy our content and give us a follow if you like what you guys see here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, OOC Spurs. But no, I definitely think you're gonna say something. But before you do, I just hope that when it's all said and done and Lamarcus isn't a Spur and we kind of look back and reflect in years from now that, obviously it'll be said, he was kind of a roller coaster with him, and that's for sure. But I hope he's more remembered for that 17-18 year when Kawhi was just left this entire fan base just in the dark and just kind of destroyed us. I mean, he was there. He kept the playoff streak alive. He kept that all-star, all-NBA streak alive. If that's something you value as a fan, then, you have to appreciate Lamarcus Aldridge for that. So I don't, I hope we don't take him for granted in that aspect. But yeah, again, I'm not saying what he, did was the coolest thing, but, as far as superstars and NBA players go, they're worse to have than Lamarcus Aldridge. There's a lot of teams out there I've seen from, in the past few years that would kill for Lamarcus Aldridge on their team. So